Okay. So here we go. Okay. So we're starting right at the beginning of day 3, I believe. um, or is it right before the choice? It might be right before the day 3 choice, I should say. And hopefully from now on it will be a lot more straightforward. But yeah, I'm only expecting to get through day 3 today, but I guess we'll see. Arrived. Let's see. Right. I speak about. I speak when he doesn't speak. Everybody else talk. When everybody else talks, I don't talk. When no one talks, I talk. I arrived just as homeroom is about to start. I'm still not used to my new commute, so I've ended up a little later than I meant to be. The morning chatter is dying down with most students already seated at their desks. I believe early on in this day, right before this, I had a conversation with what's her name? Oh no, well, what's his sister? And it was just some basic information type stuff. The familiar face approaches me. Arahiko slumps into his seat with his head drooping dejectedly. Looks like he's actually going to be attending class today.
おはようさ。今朝は特にやる気がないわけじゃないのか。教室にいるんだから。なんだよ、体調崩したのか？
さっきまで元気でしたよ。元に。何しろ先輩が遊びに来てくれたんだからな。
先輩ってシエル先輩？
Wait a second. I'm just checking what this does. Okay.
そうだよ。けど誰かさんがいねえもんだからいまいちノリが悪くて3年の教室に戻っちまったわけ。なんだって今朝に限って遅刻ギリギリなのよ、当の。
What a shame. If only I had known, I would have come running.
そりゃ申し訳ない。けど縁があれば昼休みにでも会えるだろう。これっきりってわけじゃあるまいし。
当たり前ですよ。これが最後のチャンスだったらショックで授業なんて受けてらんねえって。
Right, I gave him a quick wave and head to my desk. I'm trying to think how this day goes. Because he must still meet Arkwood. As I take my seat, the bell rings and Miss Noel comes into the classroom.
Hi! Good morning! みんな健康で大変結構ってあらら欠席者が2人もいるのね。季節の変わり目だし油断して風邪でもひいちゃったのかしら。
Miss Noel begins taking attendance. I don't remember this part though. One male student and one female student are missing. See, I don't remember those two being missing. As I wonder who the 2 empty seats belong to. Our eyes happen to meet. I hurriedly avert my gaze. What was that about? I'm sure I'm imagining it, but it feels like Miss Noel has been staring at me a lot. See, I don't know why she was keeping an interest in him. I guess they thought that he might end up being Roa, I guess, because they didn't know that there was 2 brothers or something of that household, but that's my best guess. Morning classes end and lunch break begins. Where should I grab lunch? Drop by the tea ceremony room. Oh right, I should go to the tea ceremony room. Ciel came by this morning, so I can probably find her there.
その前に
I shouldn't show up empty-handed. I'll make a brief detour. Took me longer than expected to get what I need. I knock on the door of the tea ceremony room. After a moment, the door slides open and Ciel's head pops out.
あれトーナくんですね。
That was weird. She tilts her head in confusion.
先輩、お昼ご飯一緒に食べません？
お昼ご飯トーナくんからのお誘いは嬉しいんですけど、その
That doesn't sound good. Ciel looks like she's trying to figure out how to say no. Maybe she has something she needs to take care of. I'll have to give her a little more incentive.
カレーパンありますけど。
Her face visibly brightens. Wow, it might be rude of me to say this, since she's older than me and all, but she is downright adorable.
どうでしょう。昨日のお昼ご飯のお返しにあげますから一緒に食べません？
I'm still confused by how he thinks about Ciel. It just feels like really out of character. Because like he's like visibly attracted to Ciel, whereas with Arkwood, even at the most romantic moments, it was kind of like it was almost closer to him being attracted to like a teacher or, you know, just somebody way older than him that he couldn't actually date or something. Whereas with Ciel, it's like, oh man, I'm gonna woo her and maybe we will date, you know? And it's like, wow, that's pretty aggressive compared to Arkwood. But I guess that's just because we first saw him interact with Arkwood. But also it doesn't really feel like he's actually interested in relationships. But then also the first part of the story was him grappling with not wanting to kill people and stuff. So maybe that kind of skewed his personality a bit. Like, he was so freaked out and stuff, you know, about what was going on in that original story, the first part of the first route.
それはご丁寧にどうも。そうですね。昨日のお礼ということでしたら断る理由はありません。
So why was she gonna say no then? Ciel steps back, adjusting her glasses, and ushers me into the tea ceremony room. I assume there's somebody else here, maybe?
どうぞ楽にしていてください。ちょうどお茶の用意をしていたところですから。
She steps into a side room. There must be a kitchenette in here. As I enter the tea ceremony room, I see why she was unsure about my offer. An empty lunchbox sits on the tatami mats. It seems that Ciel has just had lunch.
遠野くん、お茶と紅茶どっちがいいですか？
お茶でお願いします。それより先輩、お昼済ませてたんですか？
ええ、ちょっと前に。今日は寝坊してしまったので朝ごはんを食べてなくて、午前中はお腹がペコペコで大変でした。
そっか。ごめん、邪魔しちゃって。俺教室で食べるからゆっくりしててください。
え、パンいただけないんですか？
Ciel pops out of the other room, looking like a child who's just learned she's not getting any Christmas presents.
いや、だってお腹いっぱいでしょ、先輩。
そんなことないです。私お腹減ってます。
Her answer comes instantly. Is she just trying to spare my feelings? Somehow I don't think so.
それならいいけど、先輩、本当に大丈夫？例のカレーパン、結構ボリュームありますよ。
ご心配には及びません。私、好きなものなら割と限界なくいただけちゃいますから。
What I saw yesterday does back that up. Ciel's smile isn't coming from embarrassment or over wanting a second lunch, but from pure excitement for the curry bread. What an odd person. Only an extremely rare specimen would get this excited over curry bread in this day and age. Ciel takes one piece while I take two. We follow the meal with green tea. Huh. Surprised that he's eating two. Sitting on our knees on the tatami floor, we sip our tea and unwind.
そういえば朝のニュース見ましたよ。
It is really weird. I just want to get on a small tangent. It is very bizarre that in like all Japanese media, or okay, almost all Japanese media, they always show Japanese people sitting like this. And I learned, not really, you know, generally recent, you know, within like the last 4 years or something, that this is actually not enjoyable for Japanese people. Like whenever foreigners come and try to sit this way, like they're like, oh, it hurts a lot and stuff, and they're like, okay, well, how do the, you know, are the Japanese able to deal with it? And you know, I've heard about how like genetically they have some sort of skeletal deformity that allows them to do it easier or something. But also, I have also heard that, like, I don't know about the skeletal thing. I mean, like, that's what I heard, but like, it seems a little, like, it's believable, but like, kind of still a little weird. But I've also heard that you just get used to it. Like, oh yes, it does hurt. You just get used to it, and then eventually your legs just kind of go numb, and you're just kind of used to getting in this position, your legs going numb, and you just don't think about it, apparently, which seems really weird. Like, numbing your legs, you know, maybe not super often. I mean, admittedly, they sit in normal chairs all the time, but again, I don't know how often they sit like this, but apparently it is still somewhat common to some extent, at least. But it's just so weird that they're just like, oh yeah, we just kind of get used to it. Also, I just noticed that the color seems a bit off. Let me see. It's only slightly off, but it looks better already, actually. It's a little hard to tell. It might just be that. That is hard to say. It's really hard to tell what's going on here. Oh, that might look better, actually. Let's see. That's a bit much. The yellow definitely should be popping more, though. Probably not a good idea, but I'll try it. Yeah, whatever. Brightness? I don't think so. Well, maybe slightly. We'll try that for now. Okay. By the way, I saw the news this morning.
遠野くん、新しいお家の方はどうですか？何か大変なことになっていたみたいですけど。
ニュースですか？
Now that I think about it, Hisui did say something about the police coming to inquire about those bloodstains. You know, just normal bloodstain stuff.
あのニュースとうちは無関係ですよ。屋敷の乾燥だって中はすごく立派で夜は野犬がうるさかったぐらいだし。
Aside from the dogs. Wait a second. Let me see. No, I can't really do that. Wait a second. This is weird. That might be better. It's like the more I change it, the more off it looks. Wait a second. I think it's better now, weirdly. The colors, admittedly, are not very typical in this scene. It's like, you got what color blue is her hair and eyes? Like, I think, I mean, that's not quite navy, but anyway, like a dark blue, and then her jacket's like a navy blue, but it's dark, but not too dark. And then, yeah, all these colors are not typical.
強いて言うなら、テレビがないのと和室がないのがネックかな。こんな風にお茶を飲める場所がありませんから。
野犬って何ですかそれ？遠野邸の前で起きたのは例の通り魔事件なんじゃないですか？
やだな。そんなことになってたらもっと大騒ぎになってます。結婚があっただけで事件性はありません。
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a weird writing when they do this crap. It's like, yeah, you know, it was just some blood stain, you know, unrelated to the murders that are happening in this city, right? And it's like, even in United States, let's say 1 foot by 1 foot puddle of blood, let's call it that. I don't know how big this puddle was, but we'll just call it that, because that's like not. I mean, it's noticeable. It's big enough to be noticeable. You know, if it was like a half a foot by a half a foot, it's like, it looks like something, but nothing really. But like, okay, a foot by foot seems a bit questionable, right? Especially if there's known to be murders nearby. So just saying, oh, it's nothing special. It's like, okay, well, I guess the idea is that, well, maybe there were some stray dogs attacking each other, I guess. Though I still would say that that's very bizarre, even in the United States. There's very few stray dogs in like the whole country, especially that would fight each other. And for some reason, Shiki's just being really casual about this. It's like, okay, if you say so.
まあでも
I can't bring myself to say that the blood is exactly where I saw the dog late last night. Wait, he saw the dog? I guess I forget.
いえただの勘違いです。何にせよ俺たちには関係のない話です。せっかく先輩とのんびりしてるんですから嫌な話をするのはよしましょう。
そんなことはありません。少なくともこの町で暮らしているんですから、通り魔事件は関係あると思います。遠野くんはちょっと危機感が足りないのではないでしょうか。
Ciel's voice takes on a pointedly sharp tone. This is the very image of the sensible upperclassmen scolding their irresponsible junior.
でも危険なのは夜の外出だけでしょ。犠牲者は8人も出ているんですから、警察だって次期犯人を捕まえるだろうし。
This sounds like a Japanese thing to say. Oh, the cops are definitely gonna catch the victim, and the crime only happens at night, right? And it's like, are you sure they happen at night? Like, maybe they just find the bodies at night.
もうそんなことを言っていると寝首をかかれますよ。ニュースだって3人目の頃から同じことを言っていましたけど、結局犯人はまだ捕まっていないじゃないで
That's
すか。
so true. It's crazy. Like, remove that it's a vampire and just remember the fact that this is 8 bodies in one city, and it's confirmed to be all the same person. And the average Japanese take is, they'll get to it eventually. Like, wait, what? Like, I mean, and it's even weirder because, like, I'm thinking, like, of a, like, if this happened in a somewhat big city in the United States, but, like, as far as I know, this city here in the game is probably only, like, maybe 50,000 people, maybe? Which is, like, medium size for the United States, maybe? But, like, I'd say a serial murder in a town that small is, like, really, really noticeable. I would even say murders aren't common at all, even in the United States, in a city that small. But again, that's assuming the city's 50,000. I suppose that's true. To continue for this long in modern day Japan, these killings are beyond abnormal. It might even be fair to call them paranormal. Like, suddenly he's like, yeah, actually you're right. Like, wait, what?
そうでした。現代の吸血鬼なんてふざけたテロップが打たれてるから身近な出来事の気がしなかったというか、確かに軽率でした。俺だってこの町に住んでいるんだから。
I live here too. Maybe I should take that blood stain outside my house a little seriously. Why were those dogs barking? Not important. Clearly nothing to do with the killer. Clearly. It's not like dogs might be barking at a killer dragging a body around or something, right?
はい、分かってくれればいいんです。
Yeah, did he maybe wake up in the middle of the night and look outside the property and then, like, see a dog or something? I don't remember. But, like, it's funny if that is the case. Like, he actually went outside to look.
本当にくれぐれも知らない人についていっちゃダメですよ。もし犯人が吸血鬼扱いされて喜んでいる異常者だとしたら、遠野くんは格好の餌食かもしれません。どことなく美味しそうな雰囲気ですから。
いや、先輩、その例えはどうかと。
Kind of weird to say that considering that he's probably the skinniest person imaginable, right? Because, like, he's, like, pretty much, like, has a blood disease basically and barely eats and stuff. I hope she didn't just jinx me, though with my chronic anemia, I don't think any vampire would be interested in me.
でも真面目に考えるとおかしな話ですね。吸血鬼って言うけど、どうしてそんなあだ名をつけたんでしょう。
体中の血を抜かれているんですよ。 吸血鬼という比喩表現は間違っていないでしょ？
Was he just not paying attention? Or maybe this wasn't even in the news.
そうですかね。吸血鬼に吸われた人間って同じように吸血鬼になるってのが通説じゃないですか。
So clearly, the blood sucking doesn't matter and has nothing to do with them being vampires. Clearly.
なのに殺されてしまった人の死体はちゃんとあって、吸血鬼になって歩き回ってるわけでもない。わざわざ階段めいたあだ名をつけなくても、ただの殺人事件で十分でしょうに。
Yeah, why don't they turn into vampires? Or at least undead?
ターナ君、吸血鬼がいるって本気で信じてるんですか？
No.
ですね。ニュース
Yeah.
でそう煽っているから合わせただけです。本当に吸血鬼なんてのがいたら、さっき言った通り、死体なんか残らないでしょう。
そうですね。けど、こういう風にも考えられません。
Oh, but you know vampires.
発見されている死体の方たちは吸血鬼になれなかったから死んでしまった。
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. But also, I don't remember that ever coming up before. Because, like, from what I remember, Arkwood, like, said, like, basically everybody becomes a vampire. Or maybe it's like a 99% rate. And so, actually, these 8 are actually just hilariously, like, the 8 out of the 800 who didn't turn into vampires or something like that. But yeah, I thought it was like almost a guarantee, basically.
吸血鬼にはなれる人となれない人がいて、なれる人は吸血鬼に襲われても死体としては発見されないんです。だって今もどこかでひっそり生きているから。
はあ、そりゃホラーだね、先輩。
はい、割とホラーな話です。残念ですが、オチはつきませんでした。
She flashes me a grin and brings her teacup to her mouth. We continue our meandering conversation until lunch comes to an end. Suspicious. Ciel insists on cleaning up, so I step out into the hallway ahead of her. I'm about to start making my way to class, but as I turn my back to the tea ceremony room...
あらら？もしかして四季くん？
Yeah, I guess them two are connected, although you would think that they don't actually talk to each other normally.
こんなところにいるなんて意外ね。
Nor did I expect to run into Miss Noelle here. I noticed a silver pendant in her right hand. Is that a cross?
ああ、これ言ったでしょ、趣味で副業しているって。あっちの塔は騒がしいから静かな物質棟で日課のお祈りをしに来たの。そんなことより四季くんは何をしているのかしら？もしかしてこの辺りに秘密の密会場所でもあるの？
いえ、それは。
I can't tell her that I came to the tea ceremony room to see Ciel for some reason.
いえ、気晴らしに歩いていただけです。
Like literally just, oh, I just decided to eat lunch with Ciel. That's it. What's weird about that?
お昼がまだなんで、そろそろ食堂に戻ろうかなって。
I do my best to act natural and keep things vague.
それはそれは、ご飯より先に散歩なんて余裕のある大学生みたい。四季くん、もしかして音大とか目指してる？
Music school?
いえ、音楽に興味は
Yeah,
あり
like
ません
what?
けど。
What are you talking
なん
about?
で？
聞いてみただけさ。はい、それじゃあバイバーイ。食堂早く行かないと昼休み終わっちゃうぞ。
Miss Noelle winks a goodbye, touching the silver pendant to her lips. Then, with her heels clacking against the floor, she walks down the hallway and out of sight. It just occurred to me that technically walking around there with the cross could be a good way to catch a vampire. Maybe. I don't quite know how the crosses work. Like, or like what the range is or anything like that. Like, would a cross even work on, like, for instance, Roa? I don't know. But I think it would work on, like, anyone else. Roa barely even felt like a vampire. It was very weird. I'm so confused about that whole thing. The whole thing was road just like really showed up at the end of the game out of nowhere. I know that like they were building up to it a bit, but like it was still like, what? He jumps bodies but he's still a vampire. Like what? This period begins. I fight off the temptation of sleep as I scribble down notes during our classic literature class. Our school still doesn't allow note-taking on devices. They said they'll switch to using tablets eventually, but it seems like it's going to take another couple of years. I think this might take place theoretically in 2021, maybe. It's a little weird because, like, you know, the original game took place in 2001. I guess, yeah, I don't know. They just don't want them to have as many devices. That's also why Shiki's not carrying a phone. Like, whereas maybe it is like a little bit questionable that he doesn't have a phone in 2001, but not that weird technically. But just like a little, but quirky, but like whatever. Now in this version, him not having a phone's just like, why didn't anybody ever give him a phone in the entire game? Like, I don't. No, he did have it. No, he did have it. It was just never relevant. That's right. It was really weird. Like, oh, he has a phone, but he just doesn't like using it, even though it probably could have helped him a couple times. Either way, people rarely get into trouble for using their phones in class. It's one of those unspoken agreements. That's not true in the modern day. There are plenty of students who use their phones to check their texts, look up information. Should you be allowed to look up information? I don't know about that one. Or just browse the internet. During class. Okay. I've always preferred doing things the old-fashioned way, so I write everything by hand. And then he gets anemia. It comes on without warning. A heightened, accelerated sense of awareness. My vision begins to bend, folding and twisting around a single point. My sense of equilibrium shifts as my brain were spinning on its axis. Everything morphs into a blurred mess. It feels like something is lurking at the back of my head, trying to drive me out of my own skull. I know this feeling. This is the dizzy spell right before my anemia hits. I should have seen this coming. I always knew this was a possibility. Damn it. This hardly ever happens, but I'm going to pass out in class. Darkness shrouds my vision. I fumble for my desk, grabbing the side of it to steady myself. You could have also, alternatively, just like put your hands on the desk, put your head down, and then that's it. And, you know, maybe you'll get in trouble for sleeping, but like, you know, at the very least you won't fall down. But whatever, sure. He's like, I fumble for my desk. It's like, you were sitting down, bro. Just put your hands down. Put your head down. Done. Yeah, like, close your eyes maybe. But it doesn't help. I can't put any strengths into my fingers. You don't need to put strengths into your fingers. All I can do is brace for the fall.
Sensei, ちょっといいっすか?
Just when I expect to lose control, I feel a hearty slap on my back.
遠野のやつ、調子が悪そうなんで保健室に連れて行きたいんですけど。
Before I know it, Arihiko is standing at my side.
殿、具合が悪いのか?
I hear the teacher speaking to me from the front of the room.
いえ、これぐらい平気で。
ああ、全然ダメだそうです。
Yeah, why is he even saying, oh no, I'm fine, I just need to, like, really? Why are you... he's lucky he didn't just collapse to the ground. He's like, no, I'm fine. Like, what?
こりゃ早退させた方がいいんじゃないですか?
Arihiko's booming voice overshadows my attempt at a reply.
そうか。先生も遠野の体のことは聞いている。殿、体調が優れないなら保健室で休むか、早退して帰っていいんだぞ。
I can't tell if he's just nice to a fault. He seems to have believed Arihiko wholeheartedly.
ほら、帰っていいとよ。そんな青い顔しやがって。まずいと思ったらすぐに言わねえとわからねえだろうが。
Arihiko scowls and slaps me across the back.
それじゃあ、早退させてもらいます、先生。
The teacher nods approvingly.
悪い、アリヒコ。いらない心配をかけさせた。
気にすんな。中学からの腐れ縁だからな。お前が貧血でぶっ倒れそうな雰囲気ってのはすぐにわかんだよ。
I wonder if we're going to hang out with Arihiko more in this route. I would assume so. There's not many other people we can actually hang out with other than Ciel. Well, then again, there's all the other church people, but I don't think all the church people necessarily all hang out together. I don't think. It didn't seem like they were all getting along that well. Arihiko returns to a seat. Somehow I get up from my seat and carry myself out of the room. And then he's like, I'm gonna walk 5 miles home. Whatever. Or 4 miles or whatever. I exit the school. I decided to pass on resting in the nurse's office. At this time of day, there's a good chance I'd just end up sleeping until dark. Instead, I decided it would be better to make the trip back to the mansion.
ちょっとは楽になってきたかな。
It must be thanks to the fresh air. 7 years ago, I survived a life-threatening injury, and the price I paid is my chronic anemia. When I first left the hospital, I used to collapse just about every day. Sounds like I should have literally just stayed in the hospital or stayed at home, but okay. And while I've lost a lot of opportunities from this, I've never felt like I missed out on anything important because I didn't know any better, thanks to the support of the people around me. After reaching adolescence, most of my symptoms stopped surfacing, at least as long as I didn't move around too much. What's that even mean? Though every now and again, I'll still get dizzy and lose consciousness for no reason. Like, right in this whole game, I don't think he falls unconscious more than like twice, unrelated to using the eyes or whatever. But it's kind of weird to say, as long as I don't move around too much, it's like, you don't, like, he walks to school, walks to and back, walks to school and back every day, and then walks around at school. It doesn't seem like he's, like, I guess he can't do sports. That's it, really. I'm lucky Arihiko was around today. I probably would have fallen on my face if he weren't. But I still was going to say that I'm fine and that I don't want to leave. I breathe deeply, sending a volley of fresh air into my lungs. Struggling against the dull water swirling in my head, I make my way from school. Shouldn't you say I make my way to home? I turn onto the street leading to the station. I don't believe it. Part of my brain must still be spacing out. By force of habit, I almost went through the ticket gate. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I was going to say, when I saw this, I was like, oh, is he going to almost reflexively try to go back home on the train? I don't live with the Arimas anymore. I live in the Tono mansion now. There's no need for me to catch a train. I still don't feel well. I put a hand to my forehead and realize I have a slight fever. No point in heading home if I'm going to pass out on the street before I get there.
しょうがないな。ほんと。
Disappointed by my own frailty, I carefully prop myself down on a bench. Maybe I'll just rest here until I feel better. He's gonna fall unconscious. I guess we'll see. Absent-mindedly, I watch the crowds in front of the station. It's just past 2 in the afternoon. The city is as busy as ever. He still has to kill Arkwood, because if he doesn't do that, Arkwood can like deal with problems way too easily, I would think. People stream past in waves. Each and every one of them is far too absorbed in reaching their destinations to bother looking at who's around them. The place is swarming with people, yet everyone's too immersed in their own little world to notice. They're each the main character in their own story. Today is just another day in the story of their lives. Despite seeing perfectly well, they spend every waking moment in willful ignorance. Their days never intersect, nor do their respective paths deviate. Preferring to expend as little effort as possible to reap the most basic level of comfort. Is that supposed to be Japanese people? As little effort as possible, really? Are you sure about that one? It seems people have chosen a life of individualism to only interact when absolutely necessary. Okay, that's true. That's Japanese. I don't know if it's my fever, but something has me feeling sentimental. I should head up. Well, that's what he said. He said, like, I couldn't even tell what he said, but it was, I should head home. But he's like, Kaya or something. I don't know. I'm feeling better anyway, and the longer I sit here, the longer I'll dwell on this stuff. Lifting myself from the bench, I join the masses. I start for the mansion, my head still heavy from the anemia. Right now, all I want to do is lock myself in my room, close my eyes, take off my glasses, and just breathe. And then it happens. Until I see her. It's still weird that he just feels the inescapable desire to kill her. And he's like, oh, Like, this makes some sense in the Arcoid route, because it's like, oh, it was fate. But then here, it's like kind of even weirder. I'm almost certain time itself has stopped. Every part of me is being drawn in, the moment forever imprinting itself onto my memory. Golden hair, crimson eyes, white clothes against porcelain skin, pure as driven snow. But driven snow is not pure, is it? Driven snow would imply that it's not pure, I thought. Whatever. Not a blemish to be found, like a sacred summit, yet untainted by man. My pulse skyrockets. Bodily rhythms go haywire, my veins and arteries dilate. Every nerve in my body fires as this phantasm feverishly warms my spinal cord. To say I'm captivated would be an understatement. I stopped walking what feels like ages ago. As she leaves my peripheral vision, I turn around to not lose sight of her. I realize I haven't been breathing. I feel nauseous. I can't breathe. The pain is unbearable. I can't remember how to breathe. My throat is on fire. My eyes feel like they're about to burst. My palms are slippery yet deprived of blood. My fingertips are so cold they're numb. I'm drenched in sweat. I recall that I'm still an animal, still alive. That gets me breathing again. But my will, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't choose anything. All I wanted was to go home. My will snaps like a tightrope, and I plunge into the depths below. I have to follow her. I have to follow that woman. I have to follow her. Follow her and speak with her. Dragging my frozen feet, I pant like a blank, but follow after my fair prey. Like a wolf? I don't know. The woman walks slowly. She has no idea I exist. Questions, one after another, graze the back of my mind. She doesn't know I exist? So stupid. Could she be the one? She hasn't noticed me yet. She must be returning from something. Must be. She's probably exhausted, out of strength, which means this is it, my chance to blank her, for sure. I want to taste this ripened fruit. When was I last satiated? I want to pursue her, to tear her apart. Not for self-gratification or mere sex, something more primal. I want to savor her, to bring her low. I can't remember. I still... Every fiber of my being wants to blank her. Can't remember the first time. I sigh, but the breast doesn't feel like mine. I claw at my chest to stem my emotions from bursting. The woman weaves through the crowd, looking delectable. My throat is on fire. I haven't been breathing. What about it? Of course I haven't. A blank like that would get anyone going. I take it out of my bag. I slide it into my pocket as I walk. My fingers trace along the iron. I can't believe my luck. I even have the necessary tools. Imagine if this was a box cutter instead of a knife. Incredible, I'm so close. Our secret rendezvous has me nearly over the edge. I should keep my distance. So she doesn't notice. So no one gets in my way. We're total strangers, so I need to track her scent as naturally as I can. She enters an apartment complex. Automatic glass doors. Tight security. Non-residents can't even enter the lobby. I wrap around to the emergency exit, stash my jacket in the shadows. Cut. Enter. Why did he stash his jacket in the shadows? The lobby is empty. I look at the elevator. The light is stopped at the top floor. Click. I call the elevator with the button. Enter. I think I forgot that this was on the top floor. I don't remember that at all. I feel like I should have remembered though, because like I kept thinking it was only on like the first floor or something. I shiver as soon as I cross the threshold. Her scent remains, causing my lips to curl. This is exciting. Caged in this cramped box, I grip the weapon in my pocket and wait. She's so close. In just a few moments, I can finally blank her. Yeah, I don't know why they don't just say kill. Like, he's already said that he doesn't want sexual pleasure. He's already saying that, no, something deeper. It was like, well, it's got to be killing then, right? Exit the elevator. The hall should be empty. I vacate the box to the other end of the corridor. Still empty. I can't think. Only a single word lingers in my brain. Woman. That woman. I'm going to... I arrive at the third room. This is the one. All the other rooms are empty. Are you sure? I'm sure. All animals have a decent sense of smell, whether we like it or not. Some have simply forgotten how to use it. Pitiful, unforgivable, worthless. Civilization's obsession with compassion has instead dealt us an invisible, fatal blow. See, this is a little stupid, though, that, like, he's like, oh, I in tuned with my animal instincts, so I had heightened sense of smell. Like, okay? I don't know about that one. I move to ring the bell, but stop myself. My glasses are in the way. I can't do anything unless I take them off.
いい
You hear me?
決して
Should
軽
never
は
look.
ずみな気持ちで物を見ちゃダメだからね
A woman said that to me long ago. Right now, I can't remember her name or what she looked like. I slowly remove my glasses. The lines squirm, wrinkling my vision. Even I don't understand. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? What does Shikitono want to do to that woman? I don't know. I don't know, so I ring the bell.
はい
You're right there. I hear a voice. The door opens. In that instant, I slide through the gap and into the room. The woman tries to speak, but it's too late. Never will I hear the voice of the woman I so craved. Everything is finished before it can reach me. The sound of metal on metal rings the moment I enter the room. Was it the sound of the door? The grinding of my thoughts? A siren signaling the end? All wrong. Then what is it? The answer is obvious. There's only one thing it could be. It's the climaxing sigh of my knife, leaving its sheath. I pass through the lines running across the woman's body. Severing piece after piece until nothing is left untouched by death. All in all, 17 lines across her body. Throat, back of the head, right eye to the lip, right upper arm, right forearm, right ring finger, left elbow, left thumb, middle finger, left breast, lower rib cage to the heart, 2 from the stomach to the belly, inner left thigh, outer thigh, left shin, across the toes on the left foot. It takes less than a second, no longer than a mere passing glance. And this is never explained in the entire game why he can do all this in less than a second. It's like, oh, he just used all of his body's capability. It's like, that still sounds bullshit that you could cut 17 times in less than a second ultra precisely, but okay. In the blink of an eye, it's over. He's dismembered into 17 lumps of flesh. Looks comical to me, but okay. Huh? A dumbstruck voice reaches my ears. The reality hasn't set in that the voice belongs to me. I feel another flurry of dizziness take hold. Chunks of something are scattered in front of me. The marble floor is covered in an ever-expanding red liquid, like someone tipped over a bucket. The smell of blood assaults my nostrils. No entrails have been spilled. The cuts are clean. But a red mass creeps steadily over the ground. It's strange. There's nothing in the room except for me and the woman's scattered remains. What have I? The pools of vivid crimson, The knife is still in my hand.
死んでる
Of course she is. No human could survive something like this. Who gives a shit about the why? Just now with his own 2 hands, Shikitono butchered a woman he's never seen before in his life.
俺が殺した
Feels like the... Wait a second. The sound feels a little low. Sound effects? Wait, where is this? Wait a second. Yeah, there's no voice option. That should be fine. I killed her. I must have, or am I wrong? But I don't have a reason, so this can't be. It can't be. I never had a reason to do this. So this can't be. It can't. I'm the only one here. Someone else might have been here before, but I'm the only one left alive. So this can't be. It can't. No, I had no reason to. I didn't mean to. I wasn't in my right mind. Maybe I never was. So this can't be. It can't. It can't. Just trust me, bro. Nah. It's fine. He should have been like, it's fine. That's better than, I can't. Like, But maybe it's like an American thing versus Asian type of thing. The pool of red continues to swell. A slow, slick wave. It's almost at my feet now. I try to lift my feet, but it's too late. The woman's red blood is vicious like tar. Red stretched from the floor, clinging to my raised soul. Ah, red blood. It's oozing red because you butchered her. That's right. It wasn't me. It can't have been. It wasn't me. This must be... No. This is the reality I've created. Ah, all this blood. It's so red. Ugly crimson oozing forth in an ever-growing pool from the cuts that I inflicted. There's no denying it. I did it. I took my knife and... No, stop. Don't say it. But my heart is screaming. The truth crawls up my throat, threatening to tear its way free if I don't let it out. It's not true. No. No, to look away would be wrong.
違うって
No,
言ってるのに
to deny it would be wrong.
だからなんで俺を知らないこのやつ街で見かけただけの他人だほらおかしいじゃないかただの他人をどうして俺が殺してるんだよ
I shout, but no answer comes. Yet the reason is clear. From the moment I saw her, one thought dominated my mind.
俺は
Yes, I. Shikitono wanted to kill that woman. In that moment, that was all that mattered. My brain just turned to mush, so I couldn't put it into words.
違う
I'm going to throw up. The contents of my stomach flow up. Crimson seeps into my eyeballs. I run. I can think of nothing else. I want nothing more than to escape this place. I break into a frenzied run, leaving the apartment behind. So, do things start changing now or later? I guess we'll see. Maybe the next time we see her, maybe. Bile rushes up my throat. I drop to my knees as everything comes rushing out. Sobbing, I throw up every last bit of food, every last drop of fluid in my body. There's nothing left in me, but my body forcibly continues to heave, as if rejecting what happened, as if trying to undo everything and turn back time. It hurts. My innards are burning. Tears continue to stream down my face, and I collapse onto the ground like garbage. I killed someone. I mercilessly butchered a human being for no reason whatsoever. Why did I feel the urge to kill her? Why did I actually go through with it? I still can't answer these questions. But I'm not the one who matters. My chest is heavy with unbearable regret and self-loathing. I killed a woman, the life she led until now, her relationships with the people around her, the future she was building towards, everything. I destroyed it all, and I smiled as I did it. Regrets can't bring me forgiveness. Apologies can't bring me absolution. What have I? I want to pull my eyes out of their sockets. Can't tell whether or not I'm still sane. The thought of fighting the urge didn't even cross my mind. Killer. I accepted the impulse without a second thought. So the answer is simple. I must be insane. This probably began 7 years ago. Ever since the accident that should have killed me. Ever since I miraculously returned from the brink of death. So cold. It seems the sun has gone down. How long have I been here? I have no idea. An incessant hiss smothers my eardrums. Shh. The sound won't stop. It's unbearably cold. If I stay here on this bench as I am, I might die. Maybe it would even be for the best. Nerves paralyzed, body frozen. I feel nothing. The endless noise, the lethal chill, none of it matters. My body is trembling. Is it from the cold, from anxiety, from fear, from regret? I can no longer tell. I murdered someone for no reason and I can't explain why. I killed because I wanted to kill. That's the madman's reasoning. Ah, if only I really were mad, that would explain everything. But my consciousness is still alive. My consciousness is alive? I feel like intact actually makes more sense. I committed an unspeakable crime only to sit here shivering with my wits shamelessly intact. Shamelessly? Okay. I look at my numb fingers to see my knife still clutched between them. Death. The immediate solution is quite simple. But I can't do it. I can't kill myself because I'm still sane. One part of me is afraid of dying while another part is disgusted for even considering it. Death won't solve anything, won't atone for my sin. The noise continues. My temperature plummets yet further. Can't kill myself, but if I stay like this, I will fade away. Perhaps that would be for the best. I'm a murderer. What good would it do for me to live? If only I could just die.
遠野くん
Yeah, I figured. Dimly, I hear someone calling a familiar name. I lift my head. The rain looks a little weird here. It feels like three frames per second rain. Ciel is standing in front of me. It feels as though decades have passed since I last saw her.
どうしたんですかこんな雨の中で座り込んじゃって。
Ame. That's weird. I didn't hear his voice at all there. I see. This hissing in my ears is the sound of rain. I would have said it was the fountain, but okay. That would explain why I'm so cold and so...
傘もささないで。そのままじゃ風邪をひいてしまいますよ。
Ciel's words slide off my ears like a foreign tongue. Only a few hours have passed since I last heard her voice, but now it sounds distant and unfamiliar.
私の声聞こえてます？
そうですね。風ぐらいは 聞くべきなのかもしれません。
Incapable of lucid thought, I say whatever comes to my mind.
ダメですよ。いくら10月でもこんな雨の中にいたら風邪だけじゃ済まな。
Ciel takes my limp hand in hers. She must be concerned seeing me slumped over on this bench.
トノくん、一体どのくらいこうしてたんですか？
Yeah, that would have been the right thing to say.
体こんなに冷たくなってるじゃないですか。
That would have been the assumption I would have made. She grabs my arm and hauls me up from the bench.
私の傘を貸しますから、すぐに家に帰って体を温めてください。本当に命に関わります。
命に。
Right. That's why I haven't moved this whole time. I told myself that I was unable to think, but even that was a lie. The truth is, I knew what I was doing.
もうしっかりしてください。動けないなら私からお家に連絡を入れましょうか。
That would be problematic. Hanging my head, so I don't have to see her face. I shake my head no.
いいんです。俺は家には帰れない。どこにも行っていいところがない。
That's right. I can't go home like this, all covered in blood. I don't have anywhere to call home. I forfeited that right. A long silence ensues. Ciel stares at me, saying nothing.
わかりました。私のアパートに行きましょう。遠野くんの家よりは近いですからちょうどいいです。
She pulls on my arm forcefully. I don't have the strength to shake her off. There's no power left in my body. I doubt I could even stand on my own. I guess that's why. With my numbed senses blanketed by fog, my only certainty is the heat I feel from Ciel's hand in mine. Ciel's place is a typical apartment, place for one with nothing more than a kitchen and a bedroom. Her apartment is just as neat and tidy as I'd expected, which I find slightly comforting.
はい。これで体を拭いてください。
She hands me a bath towel.
すみません。上着ぐらいならと期待したんですが、遠野くんのサイズに合う服はないみたいです。ちょっとの間、そのままで我慢してください。すぐに温かい飲み物を入れますから。
Ciel goes into the kitchen. I am left alone in her room. I never imagined getting into a girl's room like this. Well, technically. An unfamiliar apartment. A stranger's room. A forcible entrance. Deep red splashed across the walls.
はい、お待たせしました。遠野くん。何してるんです。全然拭いてないじゃないですか。
Ciel starts wiping my head with a towel, continuing to scold me all the while.
ほら、上着を脱いで。シャツもです。もう、失礼します。このまま肺炎になっても知りませんから。
I don't think you'd get pneumonia from this, but okay. I've never seen someone's anger boil over into pure exasperation before. She furiously starts to unbutton my shirt, but then sees his cool scars. Oh my gosh, it's so badass. Her fingers freeze like she's just had a bucket of cold water poured over her.
これ、もう塞がってる傷ですよね。
As Ciel turns strangely hesitant, I realize what she must have seen. I have a mark on my chest that resembles a burn. It's not a pleasant sight, especially to someone who wasn't expecting it. Kind of weird considering this never actually comes up in the Arcwood route. Like, not fully.
痛みますか？
It's like hinted at, but I don't think it's actually completely shown
平
like
気で
that.
す。それはもう7年も前のものだから。
そうですか。よかった。遠野くんに元気のない理由がこの傷だったら、今すぐ病院に連れて行かなくちゃいけませんから。
Her mouth forms a soft, tender smile. I feel a pang in my chest at the sight.
いいです。自分でできますから。ほっといてください。
はい。それじゃあお茶を持ってきます。あ、シャツを脱いで体を拭いたら、そこの毛布を上着代わりにくるまっててください。
I do as I'm told, removing my shirt and wiping my body. I don't feel comfortable taking off my pants, so I dry them as best I can while keeping them on. I forgo the blanket and wrap the towel around myself instead.
あ、拭き終わりました？それじゃあお茶にしましょうか。
She brings a tea set into the room and sits down.
遠野くんも座ってください。立ったままでいられると落ち着かないじゃないですか。
I sit. Ciel pours black tea into a simple mug and hands it to me. Neither of us say a word. Ciel sips her tea as though this is all perfectly normal. Not knowing what else to do, I follow suit. It's hot, really hot. Scalds the tip of my tongue, restarting my pulse with a thump. It feels like a switch has been flipped within me, rebooting my hardened brain. She doesn't ask me anything, though. Eventually, I drain my mug. She refills it without missing a beat. I feel like I have to say something. Anything.
遠野くん、
Startled, I reflexively pull away.
私ちょっと出てきます。お留守番頼めますか？
うん。いいですけど。
はい。それじゃあお願いします。すぐに帰ってきますから、あんまり変なことしちゃダメですよ。
Ciel departs with a smile, leading me to wonder how serious she actually was. I'm alone again. I was just beginning to warm up, but with Ciel's departure, I've suddenly grown very cold. She didn't ask me anything. She let a monster into her room and cared for it like it was the most natural thing in the world. I didn't realize it until now, but having someone by my side was a far greater relief to my numbed heart than the warmth of the tea or the comfort of the room. I don't deserve. My chest hurts. I was alone not so long ago. Back then I found solace in purging myself of all thoughts and feelings. But now that Ciel is gone, I feel an overwhelming anxiety. I have the urge to cry and scream like a child, begging for forgiveness. Right back, the tears threatening to spill from my eyes, the sobs struggling to burst forth from my chest. I'm scum, a disgusting excuse for a human being. Not half an hour ago, I'd left myself to die in the rain, because I'm a murderer. I don't have any right to Ciel's kindness, and yet right now, all I can think is that I hope she comes back soon.
「ただいま遠野くん。お留守番ご苦労様。
Ciel is carrying a number of plastic bags. Looks like she did some shopping.
ですね。とりあえずこれに着替えてください。安物ですけど、濡れた服よりずっといいです。お風呂もそろそろ沸きますから、お湯に浸かってゆっくりすれば、少しは気持ちも紛れますよ。
Ciel has thought of everything. Drawing a bath, getting me a change of clothes. She's doing this all for me, but I don't deserve any of it.
いいよ先輩。 俺帰るから。これ以上迷惑はかけられない。
I button up my shirt, pick up my jacket, and walk towards the front door. I don't know where I'll go, but I know I can't stay in this room.
ダメですってば。そんな真っ青な顔で出歩くなんて、せめてきちんと温まってから。
Ciel reaches out. She grabs for my shoulder as I brush past, trying to stop me. I move to knock her hand aside, but I misjudge it. And then we fall on each other or something. Oh no, look at the glasses, I guess. And just like that, the world around me inverts. Everything is coming apart. Reality fractures, and imminent death seeps in through the cracks. This is a world where annihilation is only ever a breath away. A world that only a monster who kills without reason can see. In this world.
ああ、メガネメガネ。ごめんなさい。私の不注意でした。壊れてたら弁償しますから。
Death is scrawled across this kind soul, scrambling to pick up my glasses. I swallowed the scream crawling up my throat. I grab my hand as it instinctively rises to gouge out my eyes. No, this is only the way things look. It doesn't mean it's happening. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. But the lines on her face, running red like blood. Just like the woman in white. Just like the moment that made me a murderer. Scrawled all over the person who saved me. I see those same red lines of death. I'll do it again. I won't be able to help it. This is beyond the bounds of rational thought. This is beyond the question of my sanity. I should hurry up and accept it. This is what I am. This animal is what I've always been. Wherever I go, I bring hell with me. To some dark hidden part of me, meaningless destruction feels like the most natural thing in the world. No, that's not true. I can't hear Ciel's voice, but I can see the warmth in her eyes. Even if the world around me looks like hell, reality still exists beneath and beyond it. Deep at the bottom of my soul, I find that truth. If Ciel can look at me with such warmth, and if I can still recognize that as kindness, then what my eyes show me can't be all there is. My heartbeat, pounding, fit to burst, finally slows. I pick my glasses up from the floor and gently put them back on. It's all I can do to keep from breaking down. I collapse onto the floor with a great sigh. Once again, I've made a fool of myself in front of Ciel, but at least my thoughts and my vision are back to normal.
よかった。落ち着きましたか、遠野くん。
I raise my head to see her there, looking completely normal.
ほら、やっぱり満足に歩けないじゃないですか。体が冷え切っていること、分かってくれました？
She extends her hand towards me, flashing a teasing smile. Her eyes say, I told you so. Despite seeing me go to pieces, she's acting like nothing happened.
ごめん。でも今のは体の問題じゃなくて。
いえ、体の問題です。一人で立ち上がれないのをちゃんと理解してください。ほら、力が全然入っていないじゃないですか。今の遠野くんなら、私一人でもひょいっと運べちゃいそうです。
With that, Ciel grabs my arm and pulls. She hauls me back to the middle of the room. Wow, I didn't think she'd really be able to carry me.
遠野くん、今日はお家に帰れないんでしょ？もう今夜の用意をしてきちゃったんですから、いい加減覚悟を決めてください。
覚悟って先輩。
ちゃんと体を温めて、夕ご飯を食べて、しっかりするまで帰らないでください。そんな顔をしたまま出て行かれたら、気になって眠れないじゃないですか。
The pain in my chest now is different from what I felt before. I sigh with my head bowed. Her concern is heartbreaking. I'm happy, so happy that I could cry, but on the other hand, her kindness terrifies me.
なんで
はい？何ですか、遠野くん。
なんでそこまでするんですか？俺には。
I killed someone.
俺はダメなんです。さっきすごい間違いをしてしまって、責任も取らずに逃げてきて、死んでもいいとさえ思ったのに。
Even now, I'm trying to find refuge in Ciel, to run away from my sin, to run away from the fact that I took someone's life with my own hands.
俺の間違いはどんなことをしても許されない。いや、許されちゃいけないことだと思う。だからダメなんです。こんな風に先輩に優しくしてもらう資格なんて俺にはないんです。
はあ、遠野くん、自分が悪い人だって思い込みたいんですね。あなたはずっとそうやって裁かれる時を待っていたみたいです。けど、そう思うということは、遠野くん自身が自分の行動にまだ確信が持てないということで、あなたはいつも自分が悪いと思っている。今日はその最たるものだった。でもそれが本当にいいことだったのか悪いことだったのか、どう考えてもわからない。だからそんな風に一方的に自分を追い詰めてはっきりさせるしかないんですよね。
いや、それは。
I can't quite bring myself to disagree. I accept what I did, but I can't quell my doubts. Why would I do something like that? I still don't know what was wrong with me or if I'm really where the problem lies. No, there's one more thing I know for sure. For as long as I live, I'll never understand the feelings that I had in that moment.
ですが、
Really?
私は遠野くんの犯した間違いというものが何であるかは分かりません。ぶっちゃけて言えばそんなことどうでもいいです。遠野くんは優しくされる資格がないって言いますけど、それは遠野くんだけの都合です。私が遠野くんに優しくするのは遠野くんのためじゃないんですから、そんなに気にしないでください。
俺のためじゃない。
はい、そのですね、私が遠野くんに優しくしてあげたいからこうしているんです。要するに私の趣味です。遠野くんの事情はあまり関係ありません。仮にあなたが悪人でも私は手を差し伸べます。まあそんなことは100歩譲ってもないでしょうけど。
趣味って先輩、人助けが趣味なんですか？
I can't help but make light of her strange assertion. I mean, I think this isn't too crazy, but okay. Ciel doesn't take offense. If anything, she seems proud of herself.
ええ、今回は人助けではなく、一人になりたがっている男の子を無理やり引きとどめて楽しんでいる悪人ですが、遠野くんにとっては迷惑でしょうけど、たちの悪い先輩に捕まったと思って観念してください。
She smiles as she speaks. It's a gentle, protective smile. With that, my heart finally cracks. The person in front of me just said that she would help Shiki Tono, someone not even I can trust. And if I were evil, she'd help me anyway, just because she wanted to. No matter how unforgivable my sins, in those words, I find salvation. Oh no, he became Catholic. Oh, he's screwed for life.
ありがとう先輩
Not for believing in me, but for being here with me, my wicked upperclassman. I let out a breath I realized I was holding.
いえいえ、礼には及びません。だって私、遠野くんの先輩ですから。
I bow my head, thanking her from the bottom of my heart. As dreadful as the sound of my own heart was before, I realized that it once again beats with warmth. I really don't deserve her, but as long as I'm in her presence, the thought that I am evil has no authority over me. I listen to the sound of the rain. In the end, I couldn't turn down Ciel's kindness. I took a bath and put on the pajamas she got for me. After treating me to dinner, albeit a simple one, of convenience store food, she convinced me to take her bed, in which I am now trying to fall asleep. Ciel laid a futon out on the nearby floor and went to sleep. I was dead set against sleeping in her bed, but
ここ安作りですから床は冷えるんです。風邪をひき始めている人にはおすすめできません。どうぞ私のベッドを使ってください。ちょっとはマシです。
いやベッドって先輩の
そうですよ。あ、気にしないでください。あまり使ってませんから新品同様です。
okay, so she did tamper with her memories, and she's literally only got here, it seems. Maybe even less than a month ago. Perhaps only as long as Arkwood's been here. Although, I don't remember how long Arkwood's been here. Maybe only a month or two, actually. So maybe she's been here even less time, even.
いいですよね。日本のベッドふかふかで幸せです。
And that's how I ended up in Ciel's bed. I stare blankly up at the ceiling. It's an ordinary apartment that pales in comparison to the Tono mansion, yet somehow it feels so spacious. My senses must still be numb, or perhaps Ciel's concern for me is so overwhelming that it's making me feel minuscule in comparison. We chatted like usual during dinner, Ciel bringing her normal, cheerful self. We talked about school, about a bunch of shops I've never heard of, all sorts of things. There was no lull in our conversation. I wasn't able to offer anything interesting, but talking helped my crazed mind regain normalcy bit by bit. I felt both guilty and happy. I'm not sure what to think anymore. I killed someone a few hours ago, and now I'm getting flustered about sleeping in a girl's bed like I'm a normal high school boy. Funny, I thought that I never would get to do that again. In my sleepless state, I find my gaze wandering. What do I do now? Where do I go from here? I'm completely lost. The patter of rainfall continues outside.
遠野くん、早く眠らないと明日遅刻してしまいますよ。
先輩起きてるんですか？
はい。遠野くんは眠るまで眠れません。私、一応女の子なんですから。
ごめん。やっぱり台所で眠るよ、俺。
もう、何度も言わせないでください。遠野くんは風邪のひき始めなんですから、台所には寝かせられません。いいから、 嫌なことは忘れて眠っちゃってください。
嫌なこと。
That's impossible. That's something I can't forget, something I mustn't ever forget. Whatever the reason, I killed someone. Forgetting what it was that I took would be an even greater sin.
ダメだ。罪はごまかせないよ、先輩。忘れることはできないし、忘れるつもりもないんだ。けど、ありがとう。今日は先輩に助けられた。あのままでいたら本当に俺は死んでいたかもしれない。
That would have been the coward's way out. Now that I've calmed down, I've finally realized it. Ending my life wouldn't constitute atonement. If I truly believe I did something wrong, the last thing I should do is run away from it.
罪ですか。どうも遠野くんの間違いというのは私では想像もつかないことみたいですね。けど遠野くん、罪を犯さない人なんてこの社会にはいないんじゃないでしょうか。人間は誰もが罪人なわけですし。
先輩、それはどういう。
Have you heard of our Lord Jesus Christ?
いえ、誰もがというのは言い過ぎでしたね。でもいい人間と悪い人間がいるんじゃないんです。ただどうしようもなく何かの弾みで道を踏み外す人がいるだけで。生きている以上誰だって過ちは犯してしまう。悲しいですけどそれは避けられない。だって人間はそういう風に生きる動物です。知恵がある以上誰かの幸福を踏みにじらずにはいられない。
Her voice, tinged with bitterness, echoes in the darkness. Huh? I never expected Ciel to be so cynical.
なんだよ先輩。それじゃあさ、なんか救われないよ。みんなが過ちを犯してるなんて、そんな例え話好きじゃない。
そうですね。それじゃあ救われませんね。けど罪というものは償えるじゃないですか。世の中には善人も悪人もいません。ただ罪を償える人と償えない人がいるだけなんです。ですから救われない人というのはどうあっても自身の罪を償えない人のことだと思います。
どうあっても償えない。
はい。でも遠野くんは償える人です。何をしてしまったかは知りませんけど遠野くんは償える人ですよ。不安で眠れないのならこの先どう償って生きていくかを考えればいいんです。それはすごく難しいことですからそのうち頭がパンクしてスルッと眠れちゃいます。
けど先輩、俺の間違いはどうやったって償いきれない。こればっかりははっきりとしたことなんです。
そうですよ。どんなものであれ罪というものは完全には償えません。誰かを傷つけてその人の傷を治したとしても傷つけたという罪は消えないでしょ。どんなに頑張っても犯してしまった過ちは消えてくれないんです。償いとは結果ではなくその過程で生まれる心の在り方だと私は教えられました。他人に強制されずとも自らを罰することができる心。償える人と償えない人というのはそういうことです。だから遠野くんは 違いなく償えちゃう人ですね。
I wonder if that's true. I certainly don't have that much faith in myself, but if Ciel believes in me, then that's the way I'll live my life.
わかんないな。俺ひどい人間だよ。先輩が思ってるほどいいやつじゃない。
そんなの簡単にわかりますよ。さっきですね、私ちょっと感動しました。遠野くん、胸にすごい傷があるでしょ。
あるけど、それがどうして？
あれだけの傷跡ということはとても大きな事故だったんでしょう。爪痕というものは心を歪ませます。あんなに大きな、しかもまだ消えない傷だなんてちょっと普通じゃないですよね。けれど遠野くんはとても自然です。あの傷を受け止めて生きてきたのなら、それは間違いなく誇れることです。
Actually, I would say he probably just got used to it after 7 years and doesn't think about it really.
遠野くんはとてもまっすぐな幼年期を過ごしたん
I
でしょ
do
うね。
not think that that was really the reason.
あなたはきっと怒ることはあっても人を決して恨まない。
I don't think he even ever gets angry based on what I know. Not really, at least. Ciel wraps up her monologue and falls silent. If I listen carefully, I can hear her breathing gently.
寝ちゃったのか、先輩。
No response. Outside, I hear nothing but the endless sound of rain.
償いか。
A punishment befitting the sin committed. By tomorrow, that woman's body will be found and the news will be reporting a new bizarre murder. When that time comes, what I will lose will be beyond measure. It'll probably cause a great deal of trouble for Akiha, and I won't be able to talk with Ciel like this ever again. But if that's part of my atonement, I have to accept it. My life will end where my penance begins. That brings even a shred of comfort to the people who knew that the woman I killed, then perhaps I really will be able to atone someday. I'm getting a little sleepy. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but if I'm allowed, at the very least I hope I have enough time to thank the people who have been kind to me. Yeah, we'll just do that one. It's 11:30, my favorite time, as you can see. So it's still called Fire and Blood, huh? I guess there's still supposed to be a fight to some extent, I suppose. But Hmm. Yeah, we'll just end right here. I mean, we only got like I theoretically you could keep going for at least 30 minutes, but I don't think we'd get very far into day 4, so I might as well hold off. Also, I forgot because it's been a while, you know, like as you saw, I haven't played this since like September or October. And yeah, it's rougher on my throat than I remember. I mean, I knew it was bad, but I thought I had like kind of built up a bit of practice. It'd be nice to be able to do like at least 4-hour streams, but I definitely would be struggling to get to the 2-hour mark. Probably gonna have to just make sure I get some good tea, I suppose, for the future. But we'll see. I certainly wouldn't want this route to take another 2 weeks or whatever worth of streams. I'd prefer to get it done in like 7, but it might be too much to hope for. But yeah, well, I'll try to make room for like 4 hours for these streams in the future. But I also probably will be trying to think what other game I might play in the meantime. Just so that I don't just go like visual novel, constantly. I think I'm gonna play Slitterhead. Horror game. You'll find out. I think it's not overly long, but yeah, we'll see how that ends up turning out. Whether I do. I mean, I definitely would want to play Tsukihime 3 or 4 times a week, but that might be too much to hope for. I guess we'll see. And then I would play Slitterhead like twice a week. Seems that actually sounds perfectly fine. But yeah, I mean, we'll see, because it depends on weekends and all that. So, and I know this weekend I'm gonna be pretty busy. So, thanks for watching, and yeah, next part will be a bit longer. So, see you then.
Tired of playing the game? Ain't it a crying shame? I'm so tired. She's tired. Been tired of love. Give her a break. She's had a bit of love. She's not a snake. From below the Let's face it, everything below the waist is kaput.